But what I think we're going to go into the arena first with tonight is Orzhov Triumph. I am kind of surprised that I haven't seen Bitter Triumph in more decks since it got spoiled in Lost Caverns. This is actually like a whole set old. You know, it didn't come out in the newest one. It came out in the one before that. And it's a really, really good card for Reanimator decks. And right now, Squirming Emergence is using a 4 of this card to discard Atraxas and big stuff, you know, breaches. So at least one Reanimator deck knows this card is good. But I'm surprised we haven't seen it in more Reanimator decks. So I have slapped it into this Orzhov Reanimator pile. And I think I might actually take this Cruelty. I've been meaning to do this. I might take this Cruelty of Gix out for a 4th Invasion of Tolvada. We'll talk about why right now. This is an Orzhov Reanimator pile that's trying to get back Portal to Phyrexia or Kaya Intangible Slayer. We could also get back a Toxrill. We could also get back a Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. More on why I think that card is really, really good right now in a second. But there's a fair amount of reanimation targets for our different reanimation spells in this deck. Plus we have Virtue of Persistence to get back, you know, Toxrill, Flesh Gorger, any other creatures that go to the yard. Childred's important, right? So aside from that, though, kind of a control deck on the bottom end, right? We've got Depopulate in here. I didn't put in Sunfall, at least not yet. It'll probably end up in the deck. But I haven't put in Sunfall yet because we've got a lot of 5-drops as it is. And I didn't want to just, you know, have 7 5-drops if we put in like 3 Sunfall, right? So I'm leaning on Depopulate and Path of Peril as our 2 big sweepers in the deck. But I still think that if we run up against too much aggro tonight, we might get taken to town, right? So if we don't draw our sweepers, if we don't draw our Emperor or early removal or whatever, we might end up in trouble. So what we might end up wanting in this deck more than anything is another Path to Peril or 3 Sunfalls or who knows, right? But I have played a bit with this deck and it hasn't come up that much. So that's heartening, but I am very willing to put more sweepers in this deck if that's what it comes to. Obviously, we've got the Emperor in here. We've got Sheldred the Apocalypse. You've always got some of these cards. Celestis will help us ramp into our big stuff and get that like turn 4 invasion of Tolvada. That's important, but also helps us discard cards in our Reanimator deck. Liliana is very strong and also helps us discard things in our Reanimator deck. Is a removal spell. That's cool. Wedding Announcement protects our Planeswalkers. There's kind of a lot of them in this deck if you haven't noticed. And Phyrexian Flesh Gorger I think is just phenomenal at the moment. This can't be go for the throated. It obviously can't be, you know, cut down or anything like that. And that's kind of just a huge deal in and of itself, but it's also pretty decent against like Boris Convoke, Mono Red, any aggro deck that's looking to deal you a bunch of damage quickly. The lifelink is going to matter a lot on this, whether you're swinging in or you're just keeping your opponent from swinging because of the threat of lifelink and losing a guy or whatever. So I don't know, a lot of aggro in the format. I think this is positioned well against them. And then the black decks that are mostly playing like 3 go for the throat, it's awesome against them too. So we're going to try it out, but that's basically the entire deck. Cruelty is in here instead of the 4th Invasion, mostly because, you know, I like the other 2 modes on Cruelty. But that said, I have already run into a couple of games out of the like 5 or 6 games I played with the deck where I couldn't get back a Kaya because all I had was a Cruelty. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Just go and put all 4 invasions in, which is also good, by the way. If we get it flipped over, we've got Wandering Emperor, Wedding Announcement, some tokens makers, right? So, but for the most part, even if we can't pull a big creature out of our graveyard, we're hoping that the Portal or the Virtue can pull creatures out of their graveyard. All right, someone in chat has just reminded me that I don't have any Shadowy Backstreets in the deck. I only own 1 right now, but I do have 2 rare wild cards. So I'm going to add these to the deck because absolutely this card needs to be in the deck. 100% Surveil with your Reanimator deck. Yeah, you need to do that. So we added 3 lands. Let's take out 3 basics, as much as I don't love doing that. I still think that's probably what we need to do. But basics are good. Basics are good. People forget that you should, I really feel like you should have some basics in your deck, and not just because of like Field of Ruin. All right, opponent goes first. It's never really something we want to see, but we've got some lands. We should be all right. Famous last words. I think we played against Fishmonger before. Let me take my head off the stack. Let me remember that first thing tonight. Boom. I'm a good streamer. All right, so let's take a Surveil. Opponent wins Zayatoras. Maybe some sort of domain thing. Do we need more lands? I think we always need more lands, but do we want to draw it next turn? Sure. I have a good enough curve for right now that it's probably fine. Oh, you know what this could be? This could be the domain aggro deck. Could very well be that. But usually they'd play like Neshoba Brawler on turn 2. Jetmir's Garden. Uh-oh. Okay, well. We get a Flesh Gorger. I could discard it to one of these removal spells, but I don't think our opponent's going to give us the chance. If we ever get a chance to play Bitter Triumph, I think the idea is just to discard Portal. So let's go ahead and get this Gorger down. Gotta have targets, right? For a Bitter Triumph. That's part of the issue. Usually we would have been presented a target by now. They Virtue. They really only pay 1 life for this because they're going to gain 2 life from the Virtue. Good plays. Good plays. Alright, the Courier's Briefcase. Now. Interesting. I guess we Shattered Sanctum this turn. We can Get Lost and Bitter Triumph, but honestly, this is where I like Bitter Triumph the most, is at the end of our opponent's turn 4. So that way we can bend the Portal and immediately get it back with Invasion. Problem is, there's not really much for the Portal. I guess we can get back the Flesh Gorger, though. But on this mana, it's entirely possible our opponent can just kill the Portal when it comes into play. But we'll still have the battle out. That's technically value, right? Alright, our turn. Let's Bitter Triumph. Discard a card. Target a 1/1. Discard the Portal. Let's go. No blue mana over there. That's a good sign. Lots of green, which is a bad sign. Kaya! Man, I wish I'd had you turn earlier. That'd be great. But it's Invasion. Might be able to just get to the Kaya in a couple of turns and end the game that way. Portal. Take that all day. You might think the idea here would be to take the Flesh Gorger, but I would much rather them answer the Portal, and we can get back the if they do answer the Portal, we can get back the Flesh Gorger with Virtue. So, and I'm not worried about it too much. Yeah, they binding the Kaya. Interesting. We can destroy evil the binding, or they binding the Portal, but we can destroy evil that. They sack Briefcase to draw 3. Main phase too, by the way. And then lay Blue Source down. We get Mirex. Let's play that. 1 mana away from Kaya, but now they have Blue Source, so we have to make sure that we resolve that spell. I think the idea is just to EOT, Get Lost, and Mirex. But that lets them untap. It does not give them any consequences for tapping out and drawing 3. Especially like if they did draw a counter, but if they drew a counter, that's kind of okay. Like if they use our counter on the Get Lost, or if they use their counter on the Get Lost, then that's good if we draw untapped land. But now they're going to start getting Atraxas and stuff, so we might have to point to Get Lost at something else. Here comes another Briefcase. Okay. We're not too worried about that at present. Five mana open, 6, really, with the Briefcase. But it's our turn. Opponent not doing much, but I'm still nervous. They have a bunch of cards in their hand. Plenty to do stuff with. Alright, let's point this Get Lost at the Leyline binding, see what they do. We got our Portal back. Maybe they're just binding it again. I don't love using that removal spell. I really don't. Because if they do play Atraxa now, and we like don't get the land for Kaya, we just have nothing for it, you know? Or they play Atraxa next turn, I should say. And they have drawn 6 in the last 2 turns, so they have found their Atraxa. We have to just assume they found their Atraxa. Alright, let's make a dude with Mirex. And get back Flesh Gorger. There is a Depopulate, it's not the land. It's kind of poopy. Is this game going to come down to like 1 life? I doubt it. It's going to come down to freaking poison? I doubt that too. Yeah, hit them. I was going to say, if I hit the battle and then make a Mirex token next turn and hit the battle with both Mirex tokens, it's still on like 2. You know, like we still haven't taken the battle down. Battle would be good to have against this deck though, I think. 7 mana exactly. Now they have 8. Here comes Itali. Okay. That's probably fine. Probably. And we don't know for sure. See what they get. Bitter Triumph. Gonna take out the Gorger. Which is okay. I don't love it. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, they also get a Leyline Binding? Whew. Well, they go to 8 to do that, and they're going to Binding the Portal. Hot stuff, dude. Hot stuff. Gotta draw that land, but even if we don't draw the land, we have Depopulate. And so, we're not in the absolute worst position. Opponent has so many cards there. They're going to try and draw a land here, off the map. Goes to 8. They have Topiary Stomper on top, and they keep it there. Okay. It's Mirex. Probably just going to sweep anyway, but well, we just got Bitter Triumph. We did just get Bitter Triumph. So the idea here. I'll pay 3 life for this Bitter Triumph. Put that Itali in the yard. Swing 2. We have Mirex up. We have got to draw another land. If we draw another land at this point, I'm considering playing the Virtue. Get that Itali. But they have another Itali or something, you know. We still got it. We still got to populate cocked and loaded. We'll be all right. Maybe. It's hard to say at this point. Here's Herd Migration. Okay. I can deal with that just fine. The map. Bomb the map. Bomb the map. There's a Sunfall on top. Cool. Cool, cool. Mirex because we can. There's really no actual reason to do that. Of course we get tap land, but that's alright. We lined up to populate this turn anyway. No reason to attack? Yeah. Let's just hit that Wrath of God and say go. What can they do about this Kaya? It's got to resolve. But they've just been, you know, swinging for the fences. They get Virtue. What does this do? Yeah, creature or enchantment. We can get rid of their Virtue. But then they can swing into the Kaya with Stomper. We can't have that. We can't have that. Portal! Why can't we play you? I think the only real course of action is to play Kaya.
I was expecting a more impressive enemy.
We get a copy of it. The Virtue. We decided to take out the Virtue. It was an extended think there. But we get a token to block with, and we may not block with the token. It's entirely possible we don't block this token. Because it's a Virtue of Persistence. You know? It's really sweet for us to have that and not them. They Archangel. God, that's really good. That's so good. We go to 14. They kill the 1/1. They swing into the Kaya. Oh, that was the best possible thing they could have had. Oof, oof, oof.
Has to be another way.
This is a swingy game right here, but hopefully we can swing it back in our favor. We kind of need to draw lands to do that, and we aren't, so that's a problem. Let's Virtue. We got to take a big shot in the mouth this turn from creatures. Going to invert life totals. More than invert life totals. They have their own Virtue, of course. Of course they do. Bang, bang. We go to 7. They go to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana left. All right. Virtue, Itali, or Gorger. All right. We take the ETB trigger. Wandering Emperor. Archangel. Oh, and we can kick it too. That's gross. So we hit the battle here with the Archangel's kicker. We play our Emperor. We draw our card. It's pretty great. Pretty great. All right. So I'm going to exile target tapped creature and gain 2. Go up to 11.
You are not much of a roadblock.
We have 8 mana. I'm just reading here. Takes 9 mana to transform Itali. 11, 11 poison counters. They already have 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get 1 more mana We can do it. If we play the Sheoldred, it basically guarantees Sunfall. Is that what we want? What are you getting next turn? You're getting Flesh Gorger next turn? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not that much to worry about. Just takes away our ability to Mirex. If we Sheoldred. Let's not Sheoldred. This is a fine board position, right? This is fine. Alright. They get Gorger. Even though they hardly know her. It really is rude. Ooh, it's a good game. It's a good game, guys. Exiling Binding was the way. I don't know, dog. That will be... I will hotly debate that. I'll see it during editing. It's like, was Exiling Binding the correct way? I really didn't want them to have Virtue. There's the Sunfall. Okay. I really did not want them to have Virtue, guys. Alright, they Sunfall. That's everything off the table. Our turn. Cool. So, Mirex. Never wanted an untapped land so bad. Well, it's not untapped, but it's a land. It sucks. Let's start our sequencing by using the Emperor's ability to give this token +1/+1. Let's Shadowy Backstreet. Path. I don't think I want it that badly. Especially if we get Portal next turn anyway. Alright. Don't swing. They have a guy. let's play Sheoldred. They have a 4/4 Incubator token, which they will probably pop now. They don't. They actually don't. Alright, so Sheoldred goes off. It doesn't seem like they have removal, which is worrisome. It means they have good cards. They have real cards in their hand. Sunfall, number 2. I guess we should have expected that, right? So now you pop this Incubator and swing into Emperor? Probably. We don't have enough to block with the Fortress. But we do have enough to make a token. I guess we didn't need this Emperor. I guess if I'd have like really thought about this line, then I probably would have just made a 1/1, but I don't know, they'd have just gotten a bigger token off Sunfall, so I guess we did the right thing.
I guess that's it then.
Alright, our turn. Let's keep on Mirexing. All-Star card ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open mana. Toxrill. That's pretty good. If they kill it, though, they can just Virtue it. But they didn't seem to have a removal spell for the Sheoldred last turn outside of the Sunfall. Can also just Portal. We can just Portal, dude. Portal is pretty good. But I guess we kind of already have a Portal. It's not doing us any good, you know? Portal would kill this 4/4. Which I'm into, but I'm not like... I don't think we need the life like that badly, but... You know, put that on my tombstone again. No counter spell. I thought there might be something, but no. Make him block, so it's not attack. Oh, I need Rafine's Tower in this deck. For Toxrill. I just realized I need Rafine's Tower in this deck. So I can sacrifice slugs. Archangel again. God. What a good card. Really good card. Us twice. We go to 7. They go to 15. I'm not that worried about life totals right now. I'm really not. Alright, so 3 untapped lands over there after they play Invasion. They went and got double white. What's this last card in your hand? What could that be? What could that be? God, I wish you trampled. I wish you trampled so bad, dude. They're reading Invasion. So there's that. Alright, so Slime counters go round. We finally get that basic. Let's try and resolve portal. Yes. Okay. Wow. What a first game, dude. Super swingy. It looked like we might win immediately a couple times. Looked like we might lose immediately a couple of times. Ooh, yeah. Opponent has not shown Atraxa yet. This could have been that, but if they'd had Atraxa, they'd played it. I wonder if they play Atraxa. They're 28 cards into their deck. We haven't seen Atraxa, just a tally, right? So, good game. Again, I think I mostly made correct decisions, but I can't wait to see in editing if like this was the right call. Blowing up binding, getting the portal back, but then again they'd have had virtue, but they wouldn't have been able to swing with whatever they got back from virtue. So like maybe, but they would have had an Atali, right? They had Atali in their yard at that point. Fairly certain. Can't remember the exact board state, but I still we'll see once I get there. But one way or the other, it led to a win. I think we made the right decisions. Drawing Toxrill didn't hurt either, you know. But let's see if we can keep streak alive here. Our streak of 1. You would have been able to exile the virtue with the binding token that you'd have gotten from Kaya. Ha 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 ha. See, maybe I did miss that trick. Maybe I totally missed that trick. That would have been very sexy, actually. All right, we go first in this one. We got a very expensive card in our hand, but we also have a lot of lands and some 3s. You know, if things get too out of hand, we got Path of Peril. If things don't get out of hand enough, we got Wedding Announcement. So we're making a decision on turn 3. Going first helps us get there. Aeronax, thanks for your prime sub. That's 34 months, man. That's a long time. All right, Spyglass Siren on turn 1. Looks like we will be pulling the trigger on Path, but there is the issue of next turn Boat. They play Boat next turn. That might be a problem. I'm going to bend this Swamp to the Shadowy Backstreet trigger and say go. We will need lands to play the Kaya, but like, we'll worry about that. I want to draw substantial cards for right now. All right, opponent thinking it over. Besides, by the way, we have 5 total mana right now, so I'd rather draw like Discard Outlet, Invasion, and just play the Kaya ahead of schedule. Opponent having to think, what do you do on turn 2? Do you go ahead and swing in, or do you save the mana for the Fairy Miscreant in your hand? No, they play Boat. I said the worst thing that could happen is they play Boat, so they play Boat. That sucks. This is where I'd rather have Temporary Lockdown than Path of Peril, but Boat is going to be an issue. I think the actual play here is to Wedding Announcement and block the Boat. We might also be able to trick them in a way into blocking with the Boat, but I assume they'll just be attacking. People love to attack with the Boat. That's all they want to do. A Warden, okay. Well, good morning, Warden. Tap the Warden. Yeah. Unless... Oh, do you just like not want to take damage to your lands? Why'd you put them in there? You know. Yeah, they crew with the Warden. Yeah, that was... I don't know the cards in their hand. But maybe that isn't the right play. For all I know. Alright, let's block the Scoon like we thought we would. Go to 18. Opponent still has 2 mana. Nothing. Okay. Maybe they're saving it for counterspell. Depopulate. Yeah. Yep. Especially if we don't hit this path right now. Like if they do counter it, then I think we'll be pretty happy that we put that Depopulate back on top. Yeah, it's not going through, baby. Your call could not be completed as dialed. No, it's working. It's working. All right, so let's get our token. I don't know how. We pulled it off. Still going to need that to populate. I'm sure that there is a nexus point at which we will require that. Regal Bunnycorn. It's a 3/3. Okay. Pretty good. Crew. Come on in. 4/4 bunny corn. Blocksky. Wonder if I should be wasting these tokens. Is now the time to Blocksky? Nikki Blocksky. She was in Hairspray. Alright, so if I attack with this Restless Fortress, we'll take a bunch of damage next turn. I don't know, we can block with the token, it's fine. Kind of want to wait to pull the trigger on this depopulate until they have a couple more dudes, you know? So for now, let's just gain back a couple life. Go to 15, we get a guy, everything's fine. Remember last game I said everything was going to be fine? It was. You know? Toy boat, toy boat, toy boy, toy boat. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Here it comes. Here it comes. They're in the bath. They've got their little tugboat. They're going... coming in with it. Man, I hate this boat. I really do. I cannot stress to you how much I hate this boat. Let's go to 17. Can depopulate this turn. We have 7 total lands. We'll get to the Kaya, but you know, will it matter by the time we get to it? Oh no, they're gonna counter this, and then we are in trouble. Yeah, no more lies. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, now even if we land the Kaya, they just attack into it. We're supposed to have landed that sweeper to line things up, right? But instead, this happened. I guess if we play the Kaya, it fogs for a turn, you know? Glyph, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 16. 17. We're dead. Good game. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, that is exactly lethal. Wow, opponent. Have you ever seen a counterspell be better? Have you ever once in your life seen a counterspell be better than it was just then? Yeah, I hope one day they do old school alpha beta designs for lands or spells. Yeah, me too. I just made that tweet the other day. Like, if they just did a whole set that just looked like alpha and not like Magic 30, like it needs to look like revised edition or something. I would love that. Please do it. We go first. Boy, we sure did. You would think we don't have any 2-drop cards in our deck. We do. I promise, though, we do. Let's see what Blues does over there. We get to go first, but they have to let us play Magic first. We're at their mercy. There we go. They took a mole. We'll play Fortress turn 1. They play Hedge Maze turn 1. Makes me wonder if it's the Slogurk deck. And are we any good against that deck? It's impossible to know. Honestly. Let's see if they aftermath analysts and confirm our suspicions. If you make them discard cards, just discard lands, they get them back. We don't have anything big to discard to the Lily right now anyway, so maybe Announcement is the right play, but it's just so dirtly against them. They want to dirtle. If it's who I think it is. We're seeing Sultai Mana. So is it going to be like Otherworldly Gaze, Phalangiarchaeus, Archaeologist, or nothing? We're going to see nothing this turn? Yeah. Alright. We draw 4th land, and now we got to make this decision. I don't particularly want to discard anything, although the Depopulate and the Path to Peril are tempting as discards. I do want more information. I think it's best to protect our Planeswalkers and play the spell we want to play the least first against counterspells. So let's play the Wedding Announcement. And they just Besage you it. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Let's go to Backstreet, which is back. Alright. Restless Fortress on top. I've already got one. Game could go long enough that 2 matters. No, I don't want it. Alright. I think it is Gert, guys. Oh, it's a Steam Core Scholar. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So they draw their 2 for the ETB, and then they discard... What? Atraxa Portal, so it's... Glad we didn't play the Lily, I guess. But that's probably all the stuff they want to discard, isn't it? So it's a Squirming Emergence deck of some kind. Let's play the Lily. Sack a guy.
Well, but I'm taking the credit when we win. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
They are thinking for some reason. I didn't even know you could think there. You only have one guy and you're tapped out. Whale of the Forgotten. Top 3. 1 into your hand, rest into your yard. That'll give them 6 total cards in the yard. 7 total cards in the yard with the whale. So if they just emergence a portal onto the table, we have to draw Get Lost or something? Be nice if there was more stuff in the deck to draw in those situations. Oh, a Jace. Okay. And land. Alright. Alright, everybody discard. I mean, that's going to put them at more cards in their yard, which I don't love. But I get the feeling they're going to be able to do something funny next turn anyway, right? Regardless. I think we lose this game. Just like we can't convert our free turns into like anything, you know? Like, that felt like a free turn that we didn't do anything. And that you lose games of standard if you do that. Honestly, I played about 5 games of this deck before stream, and it seemed really, really well positioned. Like I won those games. Like I was on a streak, you know. Problem so far is that we haven't drawn our sweepers against the aggro decks when we need them, or they've countered our sweepers. That did happen once. But we've just gotten kind of like knocked out of the box by too many creatures against aggro decks twice tonight, even without the counter spells. So maybe the deck does need more sweepers if it lines up against aggro. If it lines up against these decks, which we've done a couple times tonight too, where we just don't have targets for our removal spells, there's no reason to play our sweepers. We need to have a plan for that. Like usually Celestis and stuff like that would kind of help, but we've only got a couple of those options. Creature Land should help, Mirrex should help, but I think we just need more. My mind always goes to Treasure Map. I actually think Treasure Map is a really good card right now. And we're not playing Temporary Lockdown, at least yet, so, you know, we're playing Path of Peril. So if we did play Treasure Map or, you know, another 2-cost thing like that, then we wouldn't be taking it out with our own Lockdown. They emergence and get the Jace back. Alright.
For the sake of Phyrexia, I will keep watch.
What you gonna do with that? They're gonna mill themselves 3 and draw.
No secret escapes my grip.
You have another emergence in your hand? I bet they do. I'll bet you do. Let's Emperor. Make dude. Shattered Sanctum. It's the draw. We have 7, so we can play any card in our deck that we draw. We just have to draw them, you know? It's easier said than done sometimes. +1/+1 counter on this guy. You got the cut down? No, they don't.
Strike fast and strike hard.
You have 10 cards in your yard, so you can reanimate anything in your deck already. So a discard is probably fine.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Sure. Discard the path here. You could argue I should keep the path because I've got enough mana that it's just better than to populate now, but I still feel myself wanting to like double spell here on one of these next couple of turns maybe, so you know. Alright, let's come in at Jace with the 3/3. Come in at opponent with the Fortress, start working on their life total. They go to 17, and we've still got a long game ahead of us. We'll see if they let us have a long game. I doubt it. Anytime they draw emergence, they're, you know, in a really good position at this point. But we're on 2 Planeswalkers. We got a guy. We got a creature land. We might be okay. But it's honestly, it's not looking good. Jeremy86, thanks for your Prime sub. Here comes Trax. That sucks. Traxy. See what all they get. I mean, we can kill this Atraxa, so there is that. Can make them sack it if they don't play another creature. Which might be what we do. Sack it, come in with creature land, just keep playing, you know. So they got Emergence, that sucks. Portal, Picklock Prankster, Otherworldly Gaze. They could play a Prankster right now if they wanted a blocker. Or something to sacrifice other than the Lily. They Founding, they're going to cast an instant or sorcery spell from their yard without paying its mana cost. It's got to have value 1 or less, or 2 or less. So Whale is the only option that I see. Now you can do all these things. Return the token to our hand, or one of these things. We discard a card, look at the top 3 cards of the library, put one of them to your hand. Okay, so. Still make them sack their tracks. That feels good, but they'll just get it again. We have to close. Closing's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But maybe we can. Maybe it's not as hard as it seems.
Fine. I know when I'm not.
Sack your guy. You be a creature. You put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Do you play? You play Terror Tide. That's the sweeper in this deck. You can't get to it. So should we actually make a guy? Is making a guy correct? What do you do next turn? Target player mills 4 cards. Okay. I'm gonna make a guy.
May your blade strike true.
Maybe I should have put a counter on the creature land. That's tough. If we can force them to Terror Tide next turn, that's good for us. Because then they won't have the mana to Emergence. One would assume. Might also force them to get back Portal. To get back Portal, we have removal spells. We have 2 of them. 3 of them, technically. But at any point, they could wise up to Liliana, right? They could just play Picklock Prankster or something, just to have a creature to sack out. Exile target instant or sorcery from your graveyard. Copy it. You may cast the copy. You have to pay the mana, though, to cast it. That's interesting. So you would cast Whale. Or Squirming Emergence. You cast Emergence. You definitely get Emergence next turn. Unless we draw Destroy... Well, not Destroy Evil, but Get Lost. Okay. Okay, opponent has roped. They've done that a couple of times this game. These are tough decisions. They have to make it another turn? I think they can. Yeah, they'll go to like 1 if they take all the potential damage. Wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they'll go to 9. If we put a counter on something. And we deal all this damage. Really? Why would you not Emergence? Why would you do that? We get Flesh Gorger. It's pretty good. Why would you do that? I'm not swinging with my creature land this turn. Not on open mana. I'm not doing that. Not in a million years.
I have got new moves to teach you.
We get in. They go to 4. So you just like double Squirming Emergence next turn or something? Let's go, baby. Let's play the big baby. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. What you got? You got a counter spell? Man. Picklock Prankster is the play. Otherworldly Gaze goes into the yard. Okay, yeah, they got it. They got another Worldly Gaze off of it. So Gorger's down. That will kill them if they try to target it. It also matches up to Atraxa, but right now, if they gain 7 life off the blocks, that's way better for them, you know. Squirmergence gets cast. What do you got? Yep, sack our guys. Figured that might happen. That's fine. I should have put him at 1. I should have put you at 1. I should have. Fortress kill you next turn. Squirmergence, Atraxa. You should be dead, man. You can be, though. You can still be dead. You can be dead right now. Because all we have to do is Bitter Triumph this Atraxa, put a counter on the creature land, and you die. So I think we got it. Because you've already played your land for the turn, haven't you? I think you have. Yeah, just get them. Get them cards, baby. Oh, wow. One with the multiverse, the Titan of Industry, good stuff. They discard those cards. And then we Bitter Triumph the Atraxa. We'll choose to pay 3 life. Because we've got it. We've got exactly enough mana to make our Restless Fortress into a creature. Put a counter on the dude. And yeah, you scoop it up. Scoop it up, Emergence. How many Atraxas do I have to play through before you scoop? Woo! Oh, man, we did it. Oh, boy, we did it. Oh, we did it. So, oh, boy. Okay. Oh, we did it. Yeah, I know. I see somebody in chat, like the prototype guy has Menace. He has Menace, but I was thinking they might play Squirming Emergence twice, which they did, and I thought they might end up with 2 creatures off double Squirming Emergence, or they might like somehow Atraxa and Picklock Prankster. I figured they would have the 2 blockers. But, geez, that was a game. All right. Good games tonight. These are good games. We go first. We finally have Portal, Invasion, and Bitter Triumph in our opening hand. If we draw 2 lands, we can make it work. Let's hope we can make it work. Up against Zlane Fury here. Hopefully they'll let us play Magic. If we finally get this opening lineup as our starting hand and like we don't get to play Magic, I'm gonna be mad. And lose sad face, win happy face. I've actually happy faced a bunch of losses in my past. Blue-black. You have to actually play something we can Bitter Triumph. They're not going to. They just refuse. Okay. Well, I guess for the trouble, we'll give them a Lily. Counter it. They don't. No! Okay, cancel. I was gonna say I hit the wrong thing there, brother.
I'm tired of your secrets.
God, I'm so glad you can't misclick on that. It's the same deck! It's the same deck again! Alright. It's the same exact deck. That's nuts, dude. It's the same deck. Only again. What? Alright, man. It's the same deck again. Like, come on, dude. Come on, man. I guess I'll make you discard. I guess. I guess.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
I want them both. I want both invasions in case they have counterspell. Atraxa. Yeah, dude. God, this is stupid. So stupid. Now, next week when we stream, it's just going to be nothing but graveyard hate, dude. Nothing but graveyard hate next week. Apparently, that's the secret to Standard at the moment. They Fading Hope the Gorger. It's the literal exact same list, guys. Literal same to the, like, I don't know if it's to the letter, but I've played against these decks a bunch and I've never seen Fading Hope until tonight. It makes plenty of sense. God, just play against the same deck over and over. Nobody wants that. Even if it's a fun, cool deck, nobody wants that. Collector's Vault usually is in the deck. They can go ahead and use it too, and they do. What you gonna discard? Conspiracy Unraveler. We didn't draw the land. I didn't expect to. We haven't been drawing the 5th land for Invasion like all night long. It's been really gross. It's not been fun. Flesh Gorger, they time walked us for 1 mana with a Fading Hope. And got to scry. I mean, don't you want to discard a card at this point? Nothing but stuff they want to discard. I can't really say the same for us. Getting rid of all my removal. They're not doing that. A land? Okay. Okay. But now what? Now you can, like, Cruelty of Gix something out, so maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of the removal off my game tonight. Actually, I think earlier I was doing pretty well, but I have made a couple of misplays. That said, I don't think that our misplays tonight would have resulted in completely different outcomes. I hate this deck. I hate this deck, right? I just cannot stand this deck. But it's only when I'm playing stuff like this, like mid-rangey, dirtily stuff. I just think this is the best mid-range deck in the format right now, and it's not close. I think it's better than that Slogurk deck, even though the Slogurk deck is good, but Reenact does not get enough credit. The deck is fantastic. Here comes Jace.
For the sake of Phyrexia, I will keep watch.
Alright, dude. You're tapped out. So you can use your Jace. If you want to target him, it costs you damage that you would have otherwise taken anyway, but you want to do it because maybe you want to plus him because, you know, I can't. Okay, they mill 3 and they draw. They want the card. We finally draw this land. Good, good, good. Right when Portal does nothing. I guess Portal's pretty good against them if we can keep it out. Let's separate all their permanents into 2 face-down piles.
See your light flashing before your very eyes? Good.
I'd rather have 2 lands and a Jace, or 3 lands. Yeah, let's do it this way. So pile 1, 2 lands, a Jace Collector's Vault. Pile 2, they lose is 3 lands and a treasure token. So let's do it like that. Tough choice. I've rarely ever do this. Ultimate Liliana, that just does not happen. Holy crap, and we're gonna kill your Jace, dude. You know that, right? Alright, kill their Jace. Invasion of Tolvada. Get back the Portal, and then if they can't kill it this turn, then we're gonna get something amazing back from their yard. You're gonna spend their turn Collector's Vaulting. Maybe they have a Fading Hope they can play with this mana. Nope. Okay, well, I think Atraxa is the idea here. Alright, so Wedding Announcement, a White Source, a Kaya, yes, and a Path, sure. Alright. It's a lot of card advantage. We only have 6 lands, so we can't play the Kaya yet, and that's kind of poopy, but, you know, whatever. Hey, what if we invasion something else? Is that a thing we can do? I guess. We can get back, like, the Wedding Announcement or something. It's not that good. Wait. Okay, I was making sure my Kaya wasn't lit up. For a second, I was like, can I play this Kaya? Guess not. We are going to try to put them in their grave as quickly as possible before they can catch up on lands. Liliana land destruction for the win. I can't believe they didn't keep the pile with all their lands. Like, they knew they were going to lose their Jace, so... Or at least you would think they'd know, but I don't know. We don't quite have lethal on the table, but we are really, really close. They Collector's Vault. They'll have 3 mana left. Conspiracy Unraveler in the yard. Tapped land. Okay. Cool. Our turn. So I guess we get back an Unraveler here. It's our only real choice. We get a Liliana. All these cards cost nothing, so I guess we'll just Kaya and boop, 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 boop or something. Yeah, submit 10. Now we get to Kaya, and I think we're doing okay. I think we're probably all right. We put him at 11,
You're not safe.
and then I guess we just come in with these guys and kill them because that's exactly 11 damage. Woo! All right, so that makes the deck feel a little bit better. That was a good game. That was a hell of a game of Magic cards right there. I feel like we had a really rough start, and I was like, oh no, I hate this deck. Oh god, I hate this deck. Which I did. I legit did do that. But then somehow it all worked out. We were able to Liliana Ultimate, and that was the key to winning this game because it just didn't have any mana. Can't really do stuff with no mana. So we got their Atraxa, and a Portal, and a Kaya, and a Conspiracy Runner, and a Flesh Gorger. This is actually one of my favorite board states in a long time. It's really funny to see all these cards sitting here with 0 as casting costs. Even though I can't collect evidence enough to make any of these cost 0, so I don't know why the game is telling me I can. But good game to finish things off tonight. Yeah, Lily Old for the win, dude. And we beat the crime deck. I really thought they were Goku for a second. I really thought there was just no getting in whatsoever. But in the end, I guess they didn't have enough counter magic in their hand to figure things out. But whew, all right, so pretty good night. We're about half and half on the night.